Hey YouTube, it is your Monday Mama on TransLove, take 2. We are back with another week of fantastic videos to come into your lives. So thank you so much for tuning in again and listening to our rants. We do have 127 subscribers. So thank you to every last one of them. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed, then I think the little button is up here. If you're on a computer, it might be down there if you're on your phone. So definitely subscribe and be part of our TransLove family. Leave us comments, questions, concerns, critiques, any of the above, all of the above. Definitely put down in the comments below. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We have like 117 followers on our Instagram, so I'm super excited about that. And Twitter, I haven't quite figured out yet, but I have an account. I don't tweet, but hopefully we will start tweeting for the TransLove channel, and then you can get those tweets. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go right into our topic. This week, our topic, and I have notes down here, so if I'm looking down, that's why. I just want to make sure that I have it. It's my initial, or it's actually ours, but this is my video, so I'll do mine. It's my initial reaction to Quinn's coming out as trans. What my world felt like then, how I thought I would feel about it in the long run, and how I actually feel about it now. So that is it. And I am going to try to get through this video without crying, but as you can see, I'm already rocking back and forth. I don't know if you can actually see that. Maybe I should stop. But yeah, so here goes nothing. So I will say that I was not okay when Quinn came out as trans. And I don't know if you recall, but in my earlier videos, I said that, you know, Quinn and I have been friends for a very, very long time. And, you know, we are going on 17 years of friendship almost. And every 6 months or so, we would have a conversation about, are you sure you're not trans? And so I knew it was coming at some point down the road, but I was not prepared for it. And not that I was transphobic in any way, shape, or form. You know, I have some very good friends that are trans. I hate when people say that, but I do. You know, one of my best friends came out as trans after I met him, and you know, I just completely okay. Just, you know, it wasn't my relationship. It wasn't my dynamic. It wasn't my anything changing other than pronouns for someone who I love very much and I'm okay with. So that situation was a lot different for me in the long run, short run, and all runs, because it didn't affect my being in my life and my identity and, you know, yeah, everything. You know, it didn't affect my everything. It wasn't in my bedroom. So when Quinn finally came out as trans, and I knew something was coming because we talk about everything and we always overshare, and he just went through this like really dark phase and, you know, was just not himself. And he's very carefree and, you know, he doesn't worry about stuff, and, you know, where like I worry about everything. And so he was just not all right, so to speak. And I let him mope for like 2 weeks, and then finally I was like, hey, listen, you have got to tell me what's happening. Because in my mind, like, he'd already packed his bags and he was leaving the relationship. And you know, we were at a point in our life at that time where we were trying to have a baby. And Quinn and I's relationship started a very long time ago, and it wasn't able to be back then. And so, you know, we had to have a couple goes out of it before we really kind of figured we would be adults about it and really make it work. And so I thought that I had fought so hard to have this perfect little lesbian life. And, you know, we were trying to get pregnant, and, you know, I mean, the whole 9 yards. And so, you know, when he came to me, I expected him to be like, you know, I'm leaving, I can't do this, whatever. Nowhere at that point in my life did I expect him to say, hey, I'm questioning my gender identity. Okay, so he finally said it out loud, and we had that come to Jesus. And, you know, for me, it was never about leaving, ever. It was just about figuring out how to stay, because it changed my world. I never thought about leaving, really. And still to this day, like, he's where I want to grow old. And I just had to figure out how to stay and how to be okay with things changing and stuff that I never thought that I would be faced with. But I just feel like love is love, and that I love him, and that nothing could change that. And so if his chest went away and beard hair came, then I would fall in love with that, because I was so head over heels in love. And I did, and it's fine. I could say that I use the snow globe effect. I don't know if I've said that before on a video or not, but that I felt like my world was this perfect snow globe. And that when he said to me that he was questioning his gender, that, like, he just shook up my snow globe, and everything didn't look the same, and it was scary because nothing was in the right place. And it took me a while to figure out that my snow globe, all the pieces were still there. It just looked different, and it was going to look different to the outside world, but to me it was still going to feel the same. We put the baby making process on hold because I felt like he needed to figure out who he was, so we could figure out who we were before we brought a child into our relationship and family. And we've since been blessed with our son, so I'm super thankful for that. But I just thought that I would never be able to have kids because I can't carry, and it's just a whole long story. But anyway, I prayed to God that he would just bring a baby to my doorstep, and pretty much he did. So all of the things that I was concerned about just all got answered. So yeah, at first I did not take it well at all. I said that if he wanted to have surgery, I was fine with that. And I was fine with him changing his name and pronouns, but I just couldn't handle testosterone. I wasn't okay with that. And then I watched MQism's video, his 1 year coming out on 1 year transition video. And there was a part in that video that said that testosterone was like life or death for him. And that if he didn't go on T, then he just would have killed himself because he just couldn't live anymore staring at a body that wasn't his. And so I was actually watching that video in the middle of the night, and Quinn came in, and I was like ugly cry and sobbing and snot bubbles, and I was like, don't turn on the light, heavens to God, don't turn on the light. I want you to find me attractive after this, but start testosterone, do what you need to do, make the call, and if that's what you want to do, then I'll follow you anywhere. So that is how that went. That was my progression in, stages of handling it. And back then I thought, if I could have known then what I know now 2 years later, I would have been like, you got this, kid. Like, what? You've got it. But I didn't, I didn't have shit back then. I didn't, because, you know, it makes you question everything. It does. It sucks, but it does. And in the long run, it's totally worth it. And, I did way better than I thought I would. I don't think I actually had any tears fall. So, good. I just got a little choked up. Anyway, so I didn't see myself being okay, but I am perfect about it. So how I feel now is fantastic. There, you know, I love the fact that we are who we are, and I love the fact that we love each other through whatever hurdles we have. And, you know, sometimes it becomes a joke, you know, where, you know, I still have super lesbo hair, and I'm like, well, one of us has to look like a lesbo, you know, so we just make like cute, fun jokes out of whatever. But now you know, I'm 100% on board with everything, and really it didn't take me, my evolution, my journey, my transition, my whatever you want to call it, my epiphany, my aha moment, didn't really take me all that long. And like I said, it was never a question of leaving. It was just a question of figuring out how to stay and what that was going to look like for us. You know, not only for him, but for me. My biggest fear out of this whole thing is that he would want to be with a dude. Huge, huge. I don't know how many women, how many partners, wives, girlfriends, whatever, have that huge, 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 huge fear. Huge fear. Huge. So, but yeah, now if I could look back or if I could go back and be like, really, you're going to be okay. You're really going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Your relationship's going to be okay. You know, you're going to have a baby. You're going to, you know, I would be, you know, yeah. I do think that there are sometimes, some days, some moments, not even days, but some moments where I miss the parts of Quinn that testosterone's changed. And I don't mean body hair or features, so to speak. I mean like more like, you know, he's a musician, and so sometimes I'll like hear something from way pre-transition that he recorded, and sometimes I miss his voice, and sometimes I miss some thought process that used to be there that isn't there anymore. And I wouldn't trade the thought process now for anything, because he's amazing, and finally his true self, and all of everything that testosterone and the transition and the surgery has given him, I wouldn't trade for anything, because he's an amazing man, and I love him very much, and I am very lucky to have him. There's just some times where I just miss what was, but it is not ever enough to shake a stick at. It's just a thought, and here and there and gone. Or, you know, if I hear his voice pre-T, it's a thought. It takes my breath away sometimes, because it's, you know, sometimes it's like, wow, who is that? And then it's like, whoa, I know who that is. So, but the confidence in the man that he is amazing, and I'm thankful. So I've come from head in the sand, under the covers, crying, hot, sobbing mess to supportive, loving wife, mommy, and fantasticness. So, listen, my video was super, super long. I am sorry. I hope you watched the whole thing. If you did, yay, you got to the end. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thank you all for being a part of this channel. I am very grateful to all of you, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.